Regular council meeting, the Village of Greenhills for February 26, 2019 to order. Clerk, call the roll.
Mayor Moore.
Here.
Mr. Dries. Mr. Halter.
Here.
Ms. Hermes.
Here.
Mr. Lee.
Here.
Ms. Metz.
Here.
And Ms.
Okay.
Walter.
Here.
And Mr. Dries has an excused absence.
Excuse me,
We have a
Mayor,
prayer.
as I set up agendas.
Prayer by Mayor Walter.
Lord, we ask you to send your spirit of servanthood upon all of us gathered here this evening to do your work for the benefit of all in our community. We ask you to bless our elected and appointed officials so they may deliberate with wisdom and act with courage. Bless the members of our community who come here to speak before council so they will state their cause with honesty and humility. Lord, we ask you to bless us all and that everything we do here tonight will move you to welcome us one day into your kingdom as good and faithful servants. We ask this in the name of our brother, Jesus. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have the minutes of council for January 22nd, the regular meeting, and 2019, and February 12th, 2019 work sessions. Do we have
Mr.
any
Mayor, I
corrections?
move that we adopt those minutes.
Okay, all right, so moved. Minutes are adopted. Okay. This is the time for citizens to comment on matters before council. When recognized, please come forward to the lectern, give your name and address, then state your comments or questions. This is not intended to be a dialogue with council or village staff. If you have questions, the questions will be recorded and referred to the manager's office for response. This will allow time for thoughtful and thorough consideration to be given to each question. Council meetings are recorded for ease of transcription. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Hi.
Hello, Judith Mullenhard, 51 Flanders Lane, long-term resident of Greenhills. About 2.5 years ago, I initiated a community effort called Shine Greenhills. And some of our members are here tonight. Many could not attend. But the intent of the program is to assist some properties that need some help. If property owners need a little bit of help getting started or need to, maybe aren't able to attend to properties, we'll edge sidewalks and things like that. My original intent was to do total transformations, but my partner in crime, who bought a property in Greenhills, became ill. He wasn't able to get on board as much as he wanted to be. So we've become more of a cleanup, spruce up, clean up, and encourage improvements. We have given awards last year to people who have made tremendous improvements with their landscaping and such, and so we watch for that throughout the year. So we're continuing to do so, hopefully to get more people on board to join with us. We are planning a community cleanup on April 13th at the Commons. And at 10 o'clock, if anybody who would like to come can please join with us, bring your own tools, bring brooms, garbage bags, 10 o'clock a.m. on April the 13th, and we'll just do a general cleanup on the Commons and edge some sidewalks and whatever we can do to get that field ready for spring. So I welcome everybody. There will be a notice with contact information in the next journal. I put it in March. So you'll see it under our Shine in the community events. You'll also see it in my feature article. I made a lot of information about keeping it local, supporting the local community in the effort. So I hope many of you can attend and join with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And is this your group right here?
Yes, we have Patricia Bender is here, Christine Early is here, Donnie Amrine is here. We have several members actually more of our members could not come. Oh, Helen, I didn't see you. Okay. Helen is a member also.
They're accustomed to me making noise.
So bring more people on board and just really make an
And
impact.
and the time again was,
10 o'clock
10.
on April the 13th.
Got it.
At the Disney Hall.
All right, thank you for all your efforts.
Appreciate it.
Judith, I have
Yes.
a quick question. Have you put anything in the journal at all? about-
Absolutely.
Okay, I think I saw a little blurb, but I didn't know if there was an article or
Yes,
anything.
well, there is, I put it, I've been doing a feature story about tips to improve your property values and stuff every month. And in this journal, there's a large, it starts out about local improvements and joining in on the
Okay,
community
great.
effort. So if I sent it in a couple of weeks ago, it'll be in the March journal.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, anyone else?
Yes, my name is Patricia Bender. I live at 29 Handle Lane, and I just have a few questions. I noticed that you put a $10 coupon in for the swimming pool in January, which was a great idea. So $10 doesn't seem like a lot. When I looked at what I pay as a senior, that's pretty good. That's at least 20%. So I was quite impressed when I saw the coupon. I also got my application for the swimming pool. But what I didn't get was I didn't get my application for the golf course. And as I have before in the past, my concerns are about the golf course. I'm not sure if we do marketing in Greenhills or if council puts something together there that looks at marketing to the public. Since we are a public pool, I think it would be a good idea to put something into the papers that we are offering our memberships, and also a $10 coupon. Now, I haven't handed in my application yet because I'm hoping that there is going to be a coupon for the golf course. So rather than to fill and pay my parts in that, I thought I would wait and find out if by chance there was going to be a coupon in the journal for the golf course before I came up and paid. So I'm sure you don't know the answer to that one yet.
Yeah, actually, the same coupon was good for the golf course or the pool, so you could have used that one back in January
Well, it didn't say that.
for the golf course. I should have. I'll have to go back and take a look.
Do you think maybe we should put another one in? You got time.
Possibly.
Maybe even a little more than $10 since it's 3 times the amount to join it. My other question was, our swim team, is it supported by our city, our village, I should say?
no.
Does our village provide any kind of revenue or support for the swim team? No. And is there a particular reason why we don't?
Well, actually, we follow up with Yvonne on that after this meeting or,
Okay, because they got quite a big event going on in August. I think it would be great if we had some things going on to kind of celebrate their event within the village, and I'm sure it could even be generate some money for community development or some sort. And last but not least is I'm wondering, when is the non-voted debt over? Is it over in 19 or 2020 or 21?
I think it was 2022.
Yeah, I think we made the last payment in 2022.
22. So we got to tighten our britches until then, right?
Always.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
okay, thank you.
Start the clock. My name is Don Amrine, and I live at 11 Brompton Lane. This is new for me. I was told I could ask a question, but I really don't think I can ask just one. I have several and just things to ponder because I'm a senior and I have all this extra time on my hands to think about things. So I wrote them down. Tell me what you think about them. I'd like to know where can I go to see ordinances relative to upkeep on historical properties? Secondly, if there is one, where could I see a 5 or a 10-year plan for the village? And last, how beholding is the village to the shopping center owner? If that goes in the dump, how does that affect our village and the people who shop there? And that's really all I had to ask. It's more than one question, I know. I appreciate your time.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
do you want him to put on the list how you can get a hold of it?
Yeah, your email or phone or something
For me,
on the
There's a
list.
sign-in sheet there.
Oh, sure.
Put your name, address, and a phone number or an email.
and next of kin.
Blood type would be helpful, yes.
I'll do that now, but I'll get on with everybody's way. Thank you all.
Thank you, Danny.
Yeah, next of kin, just in case it takes us longer to get back to you than anticipated.
And another thing.
All right, anybody else?
No, not on the back.
Well, he's got to sign in next, so you need to sign in. Go ahead.
I'll put you down.
You go put me down.
No, I'm going to write your name.
See, that's what they're used to. Good evening. My name is Helen Booker, and I currently live at 10 DeWitt Street, and I'm purchasing a house at 5 Hayden. And my concern is, or my question is, it's not really a concern, the walking path, those little signs on the ground, I think the walking path is an excellent idea because I like to walk and jog and take my grandbabies out. However, I don't know where it begins and I don't know where it ends. And I guess the other concern that I have is that there's a lot of older people, not that I'm old, but there's older people in the community and they might have eye problems. I see several folks with glasses on. And I was wondering if they could be big enough or somehow or another make them where they're more visible to everybody, and perhaps a map so you know where you're going and how you're getting there and when you're getting back. Thank you very much.
You want to give us your phone number?
Right.
And next of kin, of course.
I will mention, there is a brochure on the walking paths, so that's one thing.
Where's it at?
Do we still have them in the?
online.
It's
Yeah,
online.
the
It's
renovation.
online. We did have some here printed up. I did notice a lot of them have faded quite a bit. They're not supposed to fade, but faded, so.
You're
that's
talking
one-
about on the street?
Right, the decals.
Okay.
And just one other thing to add in there. There is a concern, it's a foil decal. If we get it too large, it could actually become slippery.
Oh, okay.
And so you're walking, no pun intended, walking a line between visibility and also not creating a safety hazard.
Okay.
But appreciate your feedback, and we'll talk about it.
But the maps are online?
Yep.
Is it possible to get them printed and put it in some of the stores or whatever here in the mall?
Sure.
I mean, the shopping area? That would be great.
Okay,
Thank you.
will do.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Okay, my name is Patty Anton. I live at 32 Chalmers Lane. And just to dovetail on her suggestion and Jeff Halter's response, are those decals, I've never seen them, but are they placed in the center of the sidewalk or to the side?
I don't recall.
The ones I have seen have been to the
I think
side.
They're to the side.
Yeah, I was going to say it would be a good
Yeah.
idea if they were to the side so they don't wear too much. Okay, but that's a great idea. I just wanted to thank you that were members of the Board of Zoning Appeals for your tolerance to listen to my full report regarding my objections to the variance. And I am looking forward to getting a copy of the Waycross Media because I will be filing that with a couple appeals courts with respect to some of the behavior in the Village of Greenhills with retaliation. I'd like to update some comments that were in the minutes because I do get these online prior to the meetings courtesy of the clerk. But something that I found really disturbing is that if we're supposed to be transparent and accountable, it seems to me that the minutes should not just say, let's say for instance, Melanie Hermes gave her report. There should be some substance that says what was in the report. It just refers to report was given. So that was a big red flag when I'm trying to read the minutes. I'm like, what in the heck were you guys talking about? Because it's not in the minutes. Another suggestion I would have would be that if you have anything going before the Zoning Board of Appeals that you take action to make sure that the instructions show that, again, compliance is 100% with filling out the application as the form indicates it should be before it's placed on the agenda. The one that was approved tonight for 30 Chalmers Lane skirted right through without any complete fill out of 8 pages worth of information that should have been there. There was no engineering report, but yet, and I think this is a retaliation move, Oscar Hoffman and the members of the board voted to accept this variance. And to be perfectly honest, thank Lois, because I think that shows clear retaliation. Shine, I would suggest, just dovetailing on what the lady said earlier, Judith. Senior moment, I lost your mind. I lost my mind, your name. I would suggest that you add on to it not just cleaning up the commons, but that you seek people on the streets in the neighborhood to get to where they recognize that this is a day for them to clean up their street. The people that live in the rental next door to me tend to throw trash. And so that's, I'm just thinking that motivates people to clean up the street. And
Okay, your time is up. Thank you.
the variance should
Okay.
have a certified.
Thank you. All right, the next item, report. of village-
Any other people?
Oh, yeah, anybody else? All right. Okay, reports of village officials, the municipal manager, Yvonne Kovac.
Thank you, Mayor. I do have a number of things I wanted to mention. Last time we had talked about the fact that we were going to start using stickers for code enforcement violations that are in the public right-of-way. And we started using that process last week, and I believe 16 were used. And
More like 20.
20, but
Yeah.
only one did not comply, so.
Two.
Okay.
But, yeah.
But the point being, they're working.
Exactly,
That works.
they're working,
Pretty
yeah.
good.
They're
The whole
very
intent
visible
was to
and-
get notice to the property owner or the tenant quicker that there's something in violation so they could pull it back off of the curb. So worked well enough to keep going with it, so we will. Wanted to let you know that the generator, we have selected a generator, so we'll be following through on the purchase of that. That is about a 4 to 6 week lead time, and I don't have an estimate still on the actual installation, the pouring of the pad, but it should all be within about that same time frame. Okay, Winton Road. The poor Winton Road. It was milled. The milling did occur last week. It took anywhere from 1 inch to 1.5 inches off of the surface to eliminate the majority of the potholes. It's my understanding that the asphalt, there's a local asphalt plant that will open on Friday, so soon thereafter, hopefully, we can actually get some hot patch to fill any remaining. Because we are going to be doing that road later in the summer, actually into fall, we are at this point in time not going to opt to pave that portion. We're going to leave it in the milled state, which actually it's not a bad road surface at all. And we have, I'm sure you've seen the signage now. We've kept it posted so people are aware that the pavement will be a little bit different in that particular area. So we will keep our eye on it. If anything worsens, we'll take additional action, but that's where we are with that right now. I received a report today on our, if you remember back in September, I think it is, when we conduct our delinquent and subpoena tax program. So for 2018, there were 722 subpoenas that were sent out for delinquent taxes of about $219,000. That day, they were able to collect $65,807, about 30% of the amount that's collected, and the remainder would be put on payment plans. So just to give you an update, the cost of that program for us was $5,700. So I thought that was a pretty good return on the expenditure there. And for the school construction, we did get an update today. This construction is going as anticipated in terms of the timing. They're expecting the students to be out of the facility in March of 2021, and then during that spring and summer, they'll demolish that building, and then in the fall of 2021, they'll actually occupy the new school building. So I wanted to give you a little latest on that. And that's what I have at this point in time.
Any comments or questions?
I have a question. In regards to the generator, I think it might be a good idea to also have some kind of guidelines in case of extreme situation with the weather like we did have, for the citizens to come in and be able to plug their devices for emergency reasons, mainly to have communication, and just have some guidelines ready, set in place, so we don't have to figure out when the time comes.
Right.
And we had like a little refuge here because we had some hot beverages and so forth, and whatever the guidelines that should be adopted, we all should be in agreement with. And perhaps the chief can also give us some ideas with that, since it has to be manned while we are not here, etc. And I know that it was done very efficiently during that time. And it was quite a few days that we were without any electricity, and some of the areas were 4 days or more. So I think we should plan it's kind of like a disaster plan that we should have in place for weather situation. And if we are going to have the generator that is going to kick in when the electricity goes out, we need to let everybody know that this is a safe place, that they will be able to come here. They can have something warm while they're charging their devices or anything like that, and they can communicate with a member of the family, or anything that they may need to that respect. So.
Sure. Definitely, in fact, the size of the generator is really based on the fact that we want to be able to provide, this room in particular for our residents, as we did last winter, and for any other future occasions where that's warranted. So we will definitely have policies in place and plan on how we would go about it.
It's not in my purview, but you and I went to Walmart, we got stuff going. Yeah. So if you need some help, knock at my door and I will help out in everything I can. My second comment is on the stickers on the property for violations. Does that also include the shopping center?
It would, if we're talking about right-of-way issues.
Okay.
We don't go onto private property and put these stickers on things, but if it's out, garbage is a perfect example.
Okay.
If it's out at the curb, or, in the right of way, we will utilize a sticker no matter where that is.
Were there any stickers given this time out of the ones that?
Last week, there were about, I think, 20 garbage cans that were left out.
In the shopping center?
No.
Oh,
no.
For private citizens?
Yeah, in the right of way.
Okay.
Our code requires that cans be pulled back 24 hours following collection. These cans were tagged Thursday morning, like mid-morning, so they had ample outside of that window. And as I stated, 2 properties did not respond to the stickers. One was a garbage can that was left out, and then the other was some loose trash that Rumpke did not collect.
Did not collect, correct.
So both of those were removed by our service department, and they're receiving certified mail bills that they have 14 days to pay. If they don't, council will anticipate seeing them on next month's agenda.
On the next one, okay. All right, thank you both.
All right, moving on, Law Director Jeffrey Forbes.
Thank you, Mayor. I believe that my written report was distributed. You'll notice a handful or so of recently introduced bills at the state that may be of some interest to municipalities. They were all introduced within the last couple of weeks, so they're in very early stages. We'll continue to watch them and see how they change, and because typically they are amended and modified as it goes through the approval process. And then, as requested, just to continue with an update on pending legal matters, I would note that the And1 versus Village of Greenhills state court case, there's really no update since the last council meeting. As I mentioned before, that's been briefed at the Court of Appeals. We are just waiting for an oral argument date to be scheduled. With respect to the And1 versus Village of Greenhills federal court case, on February 1st, the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals dismissed the plaintiff's appeal, or the appellant's appeal, due to her continued requests for extensions and additional time and failure to file the brief. What I have learned, of course, after the report was distributed is that the appellant in that case has filed a motion for reconsideration with the court. Your insurance counsel has filed a memorandum in response to that, and we await a decision from the court.
Comments or questions?
Yeah, I have one. Anything further, any other development having to do with the G4s and the G5 situation and the sticks that were put in the different areas, or?
No, not really. I mean, the state of the law, the state of the state law is the same. Nothing new has come about.
Okay. Thank you.
We're just racing to try to beat the Chinese. Okay. Acting Clerk of Council, David Lumsden.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 2018-10 LNR, resolutions 2019 number 1, 2, 3, and 4 were all posted as required after passed of the last meeting, as was the community calendar for the month of February. That concludes my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Comments or questions? All right, hearing none. Chief of Police, Neil Furtelman.
Thank you, Mayor. The 2018 Greenhills Police Department Annual Report has been released. It was sent to all of you and sent to all who requested it, and it is posted on our website for anybody that may have missed that. We're very pleased to pass on that Officer Clark has been appointed to the Hamilton County Police Association's Honor Guard. That's a prestigious appointment. We are very privileged to have him join Officer Eric Tricase, who already serves on the Honor Guard. The Honor Guard is deployed in often very ceremonial situations. As a matter of fact, there was recently a Chattanooga police officer who was shot and killed. And he is from our tri-state area, he's from Claremont County. And we received notification today that those officers will be needed for when the body arrives in Claremont County. So we're very privileged and honored to represent Hamilton County in that function. In terms of some of the activities in the past month, we investigated 7 accidents. That's up from 5 in January of 2018. 4 crimes, which are the same number as last January, and 277 other incidents. A total of 505 contacts. 284 of those were dispatched or received by phone, as compared to 249 last January, and 221 of those were self-initiated by our officers. We provided assistance to the public in 85 instances. We assisted other agencies 35 times. We made 19 criminal arrests and 66 traffic arrests. And that is what we have for this month. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any comments or questions of the chief? All right, hearing none, the mayor's report, the court receipts for the month of January, 10,000, the total amount of the court receipts collected, $10,195.63. State of Ohio will receive $1,327 of that. Hamilton County will receive $4,650. And the Village of Greenhills will receive $6,250.80. That concludes my report. All right. Committee reports, Community Development, Jeff Halter.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Signage, I think, still looks good, and I think I just saw that we modified the South Winton Road sign, took that back off and holding it in retention in case someone decides to take one of the signs out. We'll have a replacement. But I did notice that I don't know if the truck that made the modification got stuck there. It seems like there's quite a pile of mud and stuff around.
I think they were moving the rock from there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure
So maybe as spring and things settle, we could, if it doesn't settle itself, maybe we could clean it up around there. I think I just wanted to address, we've had quite a few cleanup Greenhills days, but we haven't had any recently, and I think we should support the Shine Greenhills and help you guys with that for sure. I also think that we're probably due for another group, just community-wide cleanup session. We've had several. Winton Woods High School, and I believe middle school was part of that as well, was looking for service hours, and they were part of going out and cleaning up. It's very important, and it is a never-ending fight. I don't think we can say, hey, we're clean and good. So that's a little bit on me that we haven't done one recently, and I'm going to bring that up in our committee meeting to help bring that along and back up to speed. And then the other thing is on the walking paths. We'll take that up in our committee as well and revisit that, because before we start promoting, we have to really see the state of them. Some of them were quite faded, and we just want to make sure before we're directing people to go there, if they can't read them at all, we have to do first things first. But that concludes my report.
Okay. Comments or questions?
I just want to say, if you use the help of some of the students, they can also use that as credits for community service, and either one of us would be able to sign that if we're there. So, to put that into perspective for them. That
Sure, and that was the big driver when they did it the last time.
Correct, and it's towards the end of the school year, so if they suddenly realize, oh my gosh, I have to complete this would be a really great opportunity for that.
Right. Well, and one other thing I forgot about is I've witnessed even neighbors at times throwing trash on the ground outside their vehicle. So we should make an effort to clean up, but we can't just emphasize enough that this is a place we live, and there's so much tied to how we treat each other. And so I just want to encourage everybody to be diligent, and that goes for even the smallest amount of litter. I just think that we need to take some pride in our community and work at it. So it's both sides.
Okay.
I do have a question. We removed the side of the signs. I noticed the one on Hadley was double-sided as well. Were we going to remove that side or keep?
I think not, because that one's, you
And
can
then
see
I'll-
it from both sides.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
I believe the one coming in from Springdale?
Right,
That's double-sided as well, and I didn't know if you could see both sides.
We can. We could.
I mean-
I'm not sure what
I think the
one
biggest
that
issue was the one that was addressed, which is south on Winton Road,
Okay.
where you thought maybe you were entering, if you've not been here before and you're going south, you could think that now I'm entering Greenhills if you look across the way. I don't see the need to change any of the other signs, but we can take it up and see if others feel the same.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Intergovernmental Affairs, Laws and Rules, Jack Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're to my right.
Yeah, I know. I moved. There's really nothing to report. We didn't have a meeting in January. We'll have a place, or in February, we'll have a placeholder meeting scheduled for Monday, March 25th, 9 a.m., subject to agenda. That's all I have.
Any comments or questions? Hearing none. Finance and Audit. Maria, do you want to say anything?
Well, I just have some ordinances coming up that I will be doing the reading for that.
Okay. All right. Recreation Cable TV, Maria Walther.
I have a motion for an appointment later on also, and just wanted to say that we are very diligently working on the Harvest Fest for the fall, and our meeting for the Recreation Committee meeting is at 9 o'clock on March 4th, and this time I'm going to kind of elongate it a little bit into our meeting also with the staff to work with the Harvest Fest instead of having two separate meetings, since it belongs to the Recreation Committee as well. So that way we are going to do both together, kind of. And we are very actively seeking people to put their booth backs into the places, to bring the same people and some different ones as well. We are trying to figure out where we want the doggy parade and where things are going to fit, because they're going to be a little bit different. And we do want to keep the atmosphere of a cozy atmosphere where the music is going to be. And that way will not be something like you're exposed totally out there, but they receive some of the comments that the people that enjoy the most and dance the whole night, they were kind of enclosed in a certain way, and perhaps we can, in a sense, round the tables and make it like a semicircle so they would feel a little bit more together there. So we will still have a lot of discussions to have. Of course, we are also going to have the events of the day at the pool. We're going to be working on that as well, both days at the pool, both events. And as always, I would like, if anybody feels that has some time in your hands and would like to participate and help us out, let me tell you, it's a hot day when you have 250 hamburgers on the grill and the sun is beating. And I know, Mr. Lee, I count always on your presence there. You are my rock. And you know, with your spatula there, always ready there. So.
I'm your rock head as well.
But, you know, sometimes we do need a spare of a moment to get out of the heat and just go into the water to cool off. So I would appreciate anybody that has an interest or is secretly perhaps a chef of some sorts and would like to help us out. It would be greatly appreciated, and you can contact me or leave the phone number, name, etc., message with the village number as well. We all would need your help as well, okay? Thank you very much.
Yep. All right. Moving on, Service and Streets, Natasha Metz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We had a meeting on February 12th at 9 a.m. and discussed some of the results from the survey for the services. No decisions were made. We're still discussing, and we'll continue to discuss it further. That's it.
All right, comments or questions?
Yeah, I do. Do you mind bringing that over on March the 4th to the Recreation Committee, since you are my co-chair there, to bring the results of that survey?
Yeah.
Any developments, anything that should, you know, be involved in the recreation part of it?
Yes.
Would love to have some of the your input there.
Yeah, and I think we also have it on the schedule for our retreat to discuss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the part, if I may clarify,
Yes,
that
please.
went to Service Committee is the part just a single page on service.
Oh,
They
Yeah, we
haven't
only
seen it.
reviewed the services,
But
not
sometimes
everything.
you know, you had also a questionnaire out for services in general that included the pool and so forth. That's what I was referring
Right,
to.
the survey in general includes both recreation and services. What we discussed at the services meeting was just services.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Any other comments, questions? All right, Safety, Melanie Hermes.
No report at this time. We will be meeting on Tuesday, March 26th at 5:30 p.m.
Okay, comments, questions? No? All right, moving on, we've got new business.
Mr. Mayor,
First, well, okay. We're going to do two motions. Do we need to make a change in this? All right. I want to appoint Eric Lane to the Community Programming Board, and for a term ending March 31st, 2021. And also, well, we'll do that. And then we'll do a motion to concur with Joe.
Okay.
So do the
Okay.
motion on Eric Lane.
well, Mr. Mayor, I have a motion to appoint an Eric Lane to the Community Programming Board, Regional Council of Governments, and the CPB Holdings for the term ending in March 31st, 2021, and to concur with a joint...
I thought we were just going to do the first one.
We are.
We
Just
are.
the- Okay.
It appears to be the motions were combined. This is the text that I received from Red
Oh.
Cross.
Okay. So is that
That's fine.
combined? Okay.
I
All right.
was
We'll
told to
combine
read the
them.
whole
Okay.
thing.
Do it all.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
All right, and then, and to concur with the joint appointment of Joe Ornorth as Chair of the Community Programming Board, Regional Council of Governments, and CPB Holdings for the term ending March 31st, 2022.
Second?
Okay, all right. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
I also have another motion. In this case, it's,
Well, wait, let me appoint them first.
okay.
Although you have my note. It's to appoint Dan, however we pronounce his last, Dorfline, to be reappointed to the Recreation Commission for a new 3-year term. I'll make a motion.
So, Mr. Mayor, will make a motion now to have Dan Dorflin to be reappointed to the Recreation Commission for a new 3-year term.
Second?
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So Dan has been reappointed. All right, item number 2, Resolution 2019-05-F, resolution making supplemental appropriations and transfers. Ms. Walther?
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I have I'm looking for my resolutions here. Okay. Resolution number 2019-05F, resolution making supplemental appropriations and transfers. Whereas the 2019 annual appropriations that were adopted on December the 11th, 2018 are to be amended, and whereas appropriations must not exceed total available resources of the Village per Ohio Revised Code Section 5705.36A5, therefore, an amended certificate of estimated resources has been requested from the County Budget Commission. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Greenhills, Ohio, Section 1. Since certain actions are needed in the monies appropriated so to permit the Village of Greenhills to meet its fiscal obligations for the year 2019, the following items of expenditure are to supplement the appropriations for expenditure for the year 2019. The fund description is the fire 2902. The appropriation is $137,001, and the change is $15,710, and the total amount is $152,711. Section number 2. That the following transfers of funds be made from previously appropriated monies from none. Section 3. This resolution shall take effect and be in full force from and after the earliest date allowed by law. And Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt this ordinance.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All right, clerk, call the roll.
What's the reason for the change?
I believe it was their contract amount is
It
135.
is, it's to bring the contract up to the amount that was, yes, for the new 2019.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Metz?
Aye.
And Ms. Walters?
Aye.
Resolution 2019-05-F passes. Okay, next resolution, 2019-06-F, resolution establishing salaries for village employees.
Resolution number 2019-06F, resolution establishing salaries for village employees. Be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Greenhills of State of Ohio that Section 1, for the job classifications identified in Exhibits A and B to this resolution incorporated herein and by reference made a part hereof, compensation step schedules are outlined. Advancement from step to step is on an annual basis, and such annual step-up, unless denied, shall become effective in the first pay period of the fiscal year following a satisfactory review of the employee's performance by the appropriate department head. Movement to the next pay step will be based upon the recommendation of the department head of the municipal manager to the municipal manager as follows. A, in the last 2 months of a fiscal year, each employee's performance will be reviewed by the supervisor, who will submit a written recommendation for movement to the next step to the appropriate department head. To be eligible for such movement, the employee must have at least a satisfactory performance rating. B, The recommendation will be considered by the municipal manager, who shall either approve or deny such recommendation based on their determination whether such movement is generally within the best interests of the village as an organization, including but not limited to such factors as the financial condition of the village. C, if the employee's movement is denied because of work performance or disciplinary issues, the employee will not receive a movement in pay steps until the next fiscal year, contingent upon an improvement in work performance being documented. Section 2, step schedule for police Exhibit A will, after the 4th year, drop to Step 1 for Step 2 to become the new entry-level step. And Step 4 will be increased by 2% for the new Step 4. Section 3, step schedule for non-police hourly employees, Exhibit B, will, after the 5th year, drop Step 1 for Step 2 to become the new entry-level step. And Step 5 will be increased by 2% for the new Step 5. Section 4, all hourly employees will receive the first increase effective as of the start of the first pay period in March 2019. Section 5, salaried personnel shall receive an increase in compensations as of the first pay period in March 2019 as follows. Finance Director, 2%. Police Chief, 4%. Municipal Manager, 4%. Section 6, this resolution shall be effective immediately upon its adoption. And Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt this resolution.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt this resolution, 2019-06-F. Any discussion?
Happy to approve it.
Okay. All right, clerk, call the roll.
Ms. Walter?
Aye.
Ms. Metz?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
And Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Okay, resolution 2019-06-F passes. Next resolution, 2019-07-LNR, reclassification of 2 village employee positions. Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution number 2019-07-LNR, reclassification of 2 village employment positions. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of Village Greenhills, Ohio, Section 1, that the position of part-time maintenance worker is hereby reclassified to a full-time maintenance worker, creating a total of 4 full-time positions in the service department. Section 2, that the position of receptionist, administrative assistant is hereby reclassified to administrative assistants, account clerk. Section 3, that this resolution shall take effect and be in full force from and after the earliest period allowed by law. Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second.
Okay.
Should that be assistant instead of assistants?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That's clerical.
My new
so you don't-
assistants.
Clerical, so we don't need to do anything, we just have to.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any comments other than that? Clerk, call the roll.
Excuse me. Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Metz?
Aye.
And Ms. Walter?
Aye.
Okay, resolution 2019-07-LNR passes. Next item, calendar.
March 13 at 7 p.m., we have the Waycross meeting. The Recreation Committee would be March the 4th at 9 a.m. And also on March the 29th, the American Legion is going to have a gumbo dinner, and it's going to be thanks to the donations from Papadu's restaurant. So that should be really absolutely delicious. So if you please look at the Greenhills Journal, there should be under the Greenhills Views, there should be the information there to call for a ticket and how to obtain it and so forth. And the date will be restated there. So if you didn't have time to write it down, it will be there in the paper. And I'd be glad to assist you.
Okay.
March 9th, council retreat. from Saturday from when to when?
8:30 to 2:30.
8:30 to 2:30. Okay, I had 8 to 3.
8:30 to 2:30.
And Monday, March 25th, 9 a.m., laws and rules, subject to agenda.
Tuesday, March 26th, 5:30 p.m., safety. I would like to add the Shine event to our calendar as well for Saturday, April 13th at 10 a.m. at the gazebo at the Commons. And then, should we be on the lookout for the Easter egg hunt from the fire department to be announced? Typically, it's on Easter Sunday at 2 p.m.
We have the date for that.
I think it's the 21st.
The 21st.
Sunday,
The 21st.
April 21st at 2 p.m. Get there on time or all the eggs will be gone.
At 2:05, it'll be over.
And that would be if they took a really long time. So get there early.
Anything else? All right, meeting adjourned.